the Biden administration finally agreed to debate Trump, and CNN in particular is going to host next week. But RFK Jr. has failed to qualify for the CNN debate, setting up a showdown between Biden and Trump. This is from NBC News. The independent candidate did not meet the network's ballot and polling thresholds for the June 27th event. Independent Robert F. Kennedy Jr. failed to qualify for the first presidential debate hosted by CNN next week, officially setting up a one-on-one clash between President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump. CNN published an article Thursday morning that the network's window for candidates to meet the criteria for the June 27th debate in Atlanta closed just after midnight Eastern Standard Time, quote, with Biden and Trump meeting the constitutional ballot qualification and polling thresholds, end quote. A CNN spokesperson confirmed that Kennedy did not qualify. Kennedy hadn't hit CNN's polling threshold of 15% in at least 4 approved national polls, having only reached that mark in 3 surveys ahead of the deadline. He also fell short of the network's ballot criteria, which required the candidates to secure access in enough states to win 270 electoral votes, a significant task for a third party at this point in the election cycle. So the Kennedy campaign, I've heard messaging saying that they believe that they will be on enough ballots by November to gain the correct amount of electoral votes. But the polling issue has been consistent with debates. I remember the Republican National Convention had similar polling thresholds, and it was one of the things that eliminated a lot of people there. I want to pull RFK Jr.'s statement because I find it really interesting. You know, we know that third-party candidates can have an impact on the election. He said, Presidents Biden and Trump do not want me on the debate stage, and CNN illegally agreed to their demand. My exclusion by Presidents Biden and Trump is undemocratic, un-American, and cowardly. Americans want an independent leader who will break apart the two-party duopoly. They want a president who will heal the divide, restore the middle class, unwind the war machine, and end the chronic disease epidemic. So what are your thoughts on this? Is the debate going to turn the tides of this election? Do we think that the third party candidacy is going to have a major impact? Because it is interesting that he seems to be have a significant performance, but this network was ultimately able to shut him out. You guys have any takes on this?
I think Kennedy's a clown, but I think that they should let him debate, because you know, having the other person up there it shouldn't be a problem. And honestly, I think that the reason they don't let him debate is because it only makes President Biden look worse. You know,
it's interesting because Biden was ultimately the one who said, you know, we can debate, and Trump had always been open to it, but they're only going to debate twice. Typically, during presidential election cycle, the presidential candidates have 3 debates. It seems like maybe that's, you know, maybe they just think it's boring. We already did this once, but maybe also Biden knows that 3 is too many. He can't sustain it. I don't have any thoughts on the.
Yeah, look, I think that Kennedy definitely helps Trump, and that's probably why he's been under the type of attack in the media that he has been under. He is a clown. I mean, his positions are extreme. It goes back to what I was saying earlier about the Democratic Party and like this state of introspection. What's their identity? They don't even have a real vision of what they're going to be as a party. So, and I also think Kennedy, who used to have a massive social media presence, he still does. He does a lot of shows on social media. He understands the importance of a debate to get out there and get in front of millions of so-called normies who aren't on social media and get his message out there. And they're blocking it. And I think no matter what, though, it's still going to help Trump.
Do you think any independent candidate will ever be able to make one of these major networks debates in the modern era?
Probably not at this point, as long as a duopoly, and I completely agree. There is a duopoly, and that's why the moment, you know, that there was talk about a potential third party or like a revamp of the Republican Party, there was such like a screech, like, no, that's impossible, you're not going to do it. It's just not part of the power structure. It's not going to happen, and I don't see it happening. I don't know what you guys think.